Awesome. All right. So I am online with who I consider to be the 18-year-old phenom, Alexandra Christodoulou. I have to slow it down so I can pronounce that. So, uh,
Uh,
welcome, Alexandra.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I thought you would be interesting to bring on because uh, you're one of the younger demographic, and we do have like a good number of 18 to 20 year olds competing. But I would say it's not like one of our bigger segments, and I kind of get it because a lot of people your age are now like busy with school, and that's kind of not what they're thinking about. They're kind of partying and all that kind of stuff, right? They're focusing on school and partying. Um, so one thing, I don't know if this was in the list of questions I gave you in advance, but you know, what kind of broke you away from school and partying and got you into school and actually business? I see you're like doing some business on the side too, and competition like that. It requires extreme discipline. Like, what gave you that mindset?
Yeah, so I've always been an athletic person. Like since I was young, I've always been doing individual sports actually. So when I quit gymnastics, it was really tough on the body. So I retired from gymnastics and I started, working out and I needed a new goal. And I think it was just all at once that I realized that everybody around me was kind of bodybuilders. So I kind of went back to when my dad did one about 11 years ago, and my aunt Jamie is a pro with UFE, and then my mom's fitness coach is Nichelle Loss, also a pro. So I just decided to set that kind of goal for myself, and obviously academics is my top priority, but since athletics has always been a part of my life, I decided that I could fit this new thing into my life and that it actually could be good for my academic regime and help my scheduling and stuff like that. So I kind of made everything work and I set a goal for myself that was unique from everybody else. And yeah.
Super cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's interesting. Not too many people look at their parents and at this age and say, "Hey, that's pretty inspiring. I want to be like them." So it's cool. Your parents were obviously a big influence in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, we've always been an athletic family. My dad's a marathon runner. My mom's into fitness, and my brother is the youngest race car driver in the world, and my sister's an amazing dancer. So everybody has their unique thing in my family, and I thought it would be really cool to try out UFE and see what I could make my body do.
Yeah, and at 17 years old, you kind of came out of nowhere and stole the show last year. I think you got two second place finishes, right?
Yeah.
And then
Uh,
the person you finished second to is now a pro.
Yeah. So I didn't know what to expect last year. I only competed in the novice category, which in hindsight I shouldn't have done, but it was my first time and I didn't really, know where else to go. So this time around, I'm going to be competing in the open category in fitness model and bikini. So yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Amazing. And I really like how you kind of, because I feel the same way as you. A lot of people think they can't fit in competing with a super busy lifestyle, like being a student, having to do undergrad and exams and all that kind of stuff. I kind of feel the opposite, and it sounds like you feel the opposite. That when you're on this set plan and you have to discipline yourself for competition, it almost disciplines everything else you do, right, including your schoolwork.
Yeah, it really does because I feel like if you have this entire day, then you procrastinate through the whole thing. But as soon as you have, okay, I need to meal prep, I need to eat, I need to, go to the gym and fit 2 cardios in, then you know that I have this 3 hour time span here where I can study, and this 1 hour time span here where I can, do my homework. So now you've got this time where the whole, set schedule that you have, you're just grinding through your work and it's really, really effective, I find.
Yeah. No, I like that perspective because a lot of people always make the excuse, hey, I'm too busy. So I really like you laying it out, because I feel the exact same way. Like, you do competition and it just kind of, it forces you to schedule everything else. And for me, I become even more productive when I'm competing. So,
Yeah,
sometimes it's mentally draining, but I get a lot done, and it sounds like you're the same. So that's awesome.
yeah, you can
So,
more like make a plan.
yeah. So when you competed last year, obviously you did extremely well. In your mind, how did the show compare to your expectations in terms of your experience and your placing?
Yeah, so with in terms of my experience with individual sports, I was kind of used to, this like backstage competition where everybody's trying to intimidate each other and things like that. But I did not find that with UFE, and I was really surprised that everybody backstage is your best friend. Um, and I love that kind of atmosphere where you can go up to anybody, ask for help. Obviously, I was really young there, so there was nobody really my age, but I felt like I could be best friends with anybody that was there. And I did meet a lot of people that I'm still in contact with and everything. So I do love the kind of family that comes with being in UFE. And I obviously wouldn't trade that for the world. But in terms of my placing, it's hard to know what to expect because you never really know what the competition is going to be like. Um, Obviously, I knew that I worked my hardest and I tried my best, and I'm really happy with what I came through with. And this time I'm reaching for different goals. So I'm working my butt off for that. But yeah, Revolution is special. So
Amazing.
hoping to come through this time.
Nice. Revolution, the event promoter that has geeked out. Like, he's a huge Star Wars fan, so it's going to be like a very cool Star Wars theme event. Are you
Right.
getting into that, or are you just kind of doing your own thing?
I think I'm just going to be doing my own thing.
Not getting into the whole Star Wars thing. Okay, so now that you've done that, like what are your goals in the industry? Obviously, it wasn't just a one and done thing.
Yeah.
I see you all over Instagram, and well, mainly Instagram. Like, you're really into this lifestyle, showing your meals, throwing back to when you were competing. So it's obviously become like ingrained in your life. What are your goals from it? Um, in the questions I asked you is like 2 years, 5 years, but maybe just give me like a few short term goals and a couple long term goals.
Yeah, so I'm never really satisfied with where I'm at because I always feel like I can push further. So I'm going for my pro card in short term. I have a couple opportunities to get that and hopefully accomplish that. And I love being an influencer and a mentor on social media. I love when people look up to me and ask me for advice, and I can get people motivated into fitness and things like that. In terms of long term, I'm not really sure, but I just hope to be able to be a leader for other people, other young people who want to compete or get into fitness and things like that, and show them that it is possible, it is attainable, and it's healthy. It's a good thing, a goal.
Awesome. And that kind of, you already mentioned something about being a little bit of an influencer, and I see that, like, you seem to be taking a leadership voice, right? You don't seem to be someone that kind of goes with the flow and gets pushed around by other people. You seem to be somebody who really does have a powerful voice. So as you kind of gain momentum as an influencer, and we'll see, we've got your Instagram handle up there, the at Alexandra Trinity. As you gain momentum with that, what do you want your voice to be for other people, and who do you want your voice to project to?
Yeah, I don't want to like be a specific person on social media. I feel like I kind of embody a lot of different realms, and it's a balance. It's I'm a student. I'm in fitness. I'm a businesswoman. I'm a lot of things. So I just hope to be a leader for people who just want to you know uh, go for their passions and do whatever they want to do, because being an influencer is not necessarily about influencing people who are like you. It's also about influencing people who just want to do the things they love. So I think that in being a mentor and a leader on social media. It's about just being a positive person that people can look to help them, get through whatever they're going through, go for whatever they want to go for, everything like that.
Amazing. So I don't know if everybody else can see it on their screen, because what it looks like is maybe the split screen has cut some of this off, but you have a whole ton of sticky notes on the wall there.
Yeah.
What do you do with those sticky notes? What are those telling you about?
I actually have sticky notes all over my room. Like I have some over there that you can't really see, but my sticky notes, it's for my business. So I organize my team with sticky notes so that I can give them kind of individual attention. I write up their goals so I can help them achieve their goals and everything like that. So I don't, forget about any person, because I'm good at, leaving things to the back of my mind. So I like to see everything visually.
Amazing. So what program are you in at Western?
Business right now, but I'm looking to switch into sociology because I'm not a massive fan. Sociology or philosophy. I love my writing courses, and multiple choice is not doing me very well. So
okay. And then so with what you're doing at Western and all that, like, we've talked about your fitness goals. What would be your life goal when you're, a 26-year-old woman, kind of already a couple years into her career? What do you want to be?
I want to be an entrepreneur. So growing up, I've always had an entrepreneurial mind, starting up little businesses, coming to my dad with these massive, business venture ideas. So I have been looking to start a business my whole life, and I love mentoring people and managing people and everything like that. So I've got lots of crazy ideas lined up, and I'm kind of just waiting to be out of school or wherever is appropriate to be able to start up some things that can be hopefully inspirational and kind of build my little empire. That's what I
little empire, yes. Or it could be a big empire.
Exactly.
So I guess that kind of goes with what the last question is, because we want to reach out to students. We've got a show in London on June 22nd. We're right in the backyard of our students at Western, and what's the college there?
Fanshawe.
Fanshawe, yeah. So we're right there in kind of the backyard of Western and Fanshawe. Mm-hmm. And a lot of students, like I said, and they talk about the time and all this kind of stuff. So how do you balance being an entrepreneur, because I can see you're already getting your thing going with that, a student and a competitor? Like how do you manage your time, and how would you address others in managing their time?
Yeah, so if you can manage your life as it is, then you can easily add one more thing, because bodybuilding is a massive commitment, but it's not that much of a time commitment if you think about it. Like if it's one workout a day, meal prepping once or twice a week, it's not that much of a time commitment if you keep dedicated to it. So I'm lucky in that my residence is meal prepping for me. All I have to do is go down 3 times a week, pick up my meal prep, and then eat it when I'm supposed to and work out when I'm supposed to. But it's just about managing your time, keeping your life balanced, and you really can, attain everything. It's not as difficult as, obviously it is difficult, but it's not as difficult as you think it is if it's what you really want. So I really think that students should put their mind to something like this, because it keeps you healthy, it keeps you motivated, it helps you to attain these goals that nobody thought you would be able to. So I think it's great.
Yeah. And when you kind of think of it, like the time people spend getting ready to go to clubs or, pre-drinking and getting ready and all this kind of stuff, if you took some of those hours and put it into the gym and prepping. And,
yeah. So I find that the time commitment is obviously a lot, but it can be replaced with other things. Like obviously on prep, I'm not able to drink. I'm not able to, have pizza night with my friends and stuff like that. But I replace it with other things. So, maybe while my friends are preing, I'm doing my cardio, or I'm going to pizza night, but I'm just having my salad and chicken. I think that it's a really healthy alternative in university, combat the freshman 15, everything like that. So it's really important to establish healthy habits in especially undergrad, because a lot of people in the environment change do establish unhealthy habits, and it's really difficult to get out of that mindset that's, sleeping all day and cramming and eating an unhealthy diet. And that's how I started off the beginning of my semester. But finishing it, starting in January, I started prepping, and everything's gotten a lot easier. My time management is so much better. It's a lot easier to handle a lot of different things. So with me and my friends, obviously the nature of friendships has changed because we can't go out to eat. Maybe I'm not going out partying as much, even though I still do. But everything's just a little different. Everything seems a little bit easier, a lot more natural for me, especially because this is my second competition. But yeah, I'm really hoping to inspire people to make these kinds of decisions, because it's really different than what everybody else does, but it's still a passion of mine. And I'm really glad that UFE has given me this opportunity, because I'm really happy with where it's taken me and everything like that. So in terms of social, interactions and everything like that, it's obviously not what you would think of a first year getting into. It's a first year university student, especially living in res, especially in Saugeen. But it's definitely something that I chose to do because I love it. And I definitely think this is a demographic that should recognize this a little more, because it's just such a good opportunity.